we got to do the video again too.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, that's kind of 30 seconds.
30-ish seconds.
Yes. All right. Well, the same thing happens. So I think it's the video card. I think my ancient video card that I had to put in here to actually be able to work.
So what I'm
with
hearing, Patreon tier.
Yes, video
to
card.
buy us a new video card.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at what's going on Patreon. We might have enough to upgrade from this because I think this is like literally a $50 video card.
I don't think
now.
you could have tacked any more venom into that. This.
Yes, so we're running on a GTX now. So if you remember back in those old gaming days, but the other one that I think everyone remembers having trouble with that, the video just kicks off. So I think that was taken from somebody's mining rig, some crypto mining rig.
Oh,
so
we're just going to get spammed by bots now.
Yeah, right. So. Hey Andrew, how's it going? And Abyss and Matt and Calarion first in, and yeah, Abyss and
the screen's small, so I can't see the big TV.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, let me pop out the preview again. So we're doing this slow. So I'll see. There might be some settings that I can fix for.
Oh, there. Yep.
There we go. There might be some settings that will make that all better. We'll have to see. Yeah, if I'm using hardware acceleration, I'll have to kill it and use software. So the quality may go down, but at least it won't crash.
On the stream, it's almost covered by the chat, but I just noticed the Epic Warpath.
Oh yes,
right there.
Yep, the rulebook and Warzone Eternal. We haven't flipped through that yet, but
wow, look at that, yeah.
Yeah. Little stuff keeps collecting. So
little stuff keeps collecting as you foist more like 6mm 3D printed miniatures on me. Here, have some of this.
Yes. Yeah. So we'll talk about some Warzone Eternal. We'll look through the. It probably is easier to use the PDF, but we'll look through that tiny book, and see. I think I've got enough metal. We can put together some little skirmish forces and give those rules a try. And so a bunch of stuff coming up. And I took. So we had technical problems doing the Mantic, the Epic Warpath stream. No. So that broke in half. So I downloaded that and reassembled it into 2 halves. So that just got uploaded and went live just right before this stream. So I'm trying to compete with Critical Role as much as possible because their first episode of season 4 or whatever is live. Okay.
Then my advice is like compete with something they're not doing.
right.
Like Epic Warpath or Warzone Eternal, right?
Oh yeah. Speaking of Daggerheart, though, yeah, they just launched their another Kickstarter for packs of cards. So yeah, I think somebody called it that's all they're going to do is just be releasing packs of cards. Yeah, so they're like $25 a pack, and everything that they're releasing is going to cost you like $175 just packs of cards. Just probably the same quality as what they printed. So whatever character class and subclass you're playing, gotta buy that deck. So that's very 5e. That's well, I mean, I'm sure it started before 5e, but 5e was doing that as well, doing spell cards and powers and things.
Okay, say what you will about 5e. I never bought any. The impression I got with those spell cards is they were an aid. Right, like the stuff was still in the book. Right.
Oh yeah. They weren't necessary.
They weren't necessary. The spell card was an aid, so that you didn't have to like flip back and forth. You could just kind
probably true of Daggerheart as well. You could probably just print out the page of the PDF. They're not quite doing that yet, where it's like, you can't play this class unless you pay the $25. But if you're playing online, you don't need them. So yeah, and they supported pretty well between Demiplane and Roll20. They've got a pretty nice digital set. So they may have trouble, selling physical. Well, there's collectors, all kinds of collectors for anything. All the critters are gonna
collect stuff. Yeah.
And the artwork is good. I mean, they paid real artists and did, kind of bright and colorful, but they did fun fantasy art, and they use it throughout all of their materials. So yeah, you can't slight them for that. They're doing a good job. They're not half-assing it. They're not AIing it or anything.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But so what you been up to? Painting any space elves?
Well, I got one base. I got
Okay.
one base of
Nice, nice.
Asterion marionettes, right?
Nice.
Like I put on Instagram. It was the first time using the Agrellan. I guess I can't tell the difference between Agrellan Earth or Agrellan Badlands. It's the crackle paint. It's GW's overpriced crackle paint, right?
Right.
And I just happened to kind of get it on sale at one of like the
Oh.
hobby shops now, and I was like, $5? Like
Hey.
500 yen? Normally it's like twice that. Anyway, so I
Hey.
got that and tried that. And it looks okay. Yeah. We were talking online, I'm not a fan of like the Mantic Epic Warpath, like round tab on the feet of everything that slots into
Yeah.
the base. Like, okay, logistically, yeah, it makes sense. This side is the troop. That side is the HQ, right? The 4 slot is the troop. The 2 slot is the HQ, and it's a dual use base. That's
Yeah.
fine. But I think they could have made it's all the molding.
Yeah, I think it is.
The
yeah.
tab on the model's feet, they're not a set thickness. And so some of them
Yeah.
are like higher down, and like edges are popping up, and yeah.
Yeah, that's something they did from early days and just kind of differentiated because they were, imitating Warhammer Fantasy Battles and 40K. Basically, all of their models had that base, that inner base that went into either a round or square base, and you could switch it. So you could literally, and I think they were doing that for versatility, so you could put it in whichever for whatever game you were playing, even if because I think early days, maybe they didn't expect to try to compete so directly with rules and everything. They thought maybe we'd just make more miniatures because they did some of the best skeletons and zombie miniatures ever, like back in the day, like 2010 or whatever. Those are really good looking miniatures, but they had that everything's on a disc that sets in either a round or a square base, depending on what you're playing. But you're right; that needs to be really precise, or else it's not fun to. And I think a lot of people just cut them off of that. Which is kind of unnecessary
For the Epic Warpath,
Yeah, you could do that.
That
Yeah.
would be hard.
No,
to do,
but
for other games,
because Kings of War, which we'll be talking about, Kings of War, basically because you don't remove models from the base from the tray, you just keep track of fatalities with a die. They let you do kind of any number of models on a scenic base, and it was just the base size that mattered. Yeah. And so that's when I think people just started cutting everything off because you weren't going to line stuff up, you weren't going to rank stuff up, and you could make all kinds of dioramas and terrain, interesting terrain and stuff. Yeah. So they're kind of stuck in between. I think they're still doing that old style, and it doesn't. Everybody I've seen, there's a few people have done it well enough where you can't see any of those edges, but I wasn't able to do that. I sat forever with a little bamboo skewer trying to jam that stuff in but it's still, after it dried, it leveled the resin sand I was using leveled a little bit, and it's like, there.
I tried to fill in as much as like the circular gap as I could with that like GW technical paint, and I'm just like, it still doesn't quite.
Yeah, and with that technical paint too, you have to kind of get it all on and then let it dry so it crackles. You can't like go patch it in and stuff because then it looks, it doesn't. Yeah. The effect is lost.
I might cover some of the bigger gaps with like grass tufts.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, like do grass, and I saw somebody do gorgeous just the troop bases with the 4 little models on them, like they were like sunken oil drums and all kinds of like really dramatic stuff. Yeah, it was quite scenic for just a little 30 mil base. They had a lot of stuff going on. I tried I was going to do some little photo resin like for the gel nail stuff, little like rivers and puddles and stuff, but that stuff is hard to work with.
It is.
It got away from me. So I got one base, just kind of everyone standing in a lake.
No, I tried some of that for Frostgrave, and I maybe like the UV resin light thing that I got must not have been great because I'm like, I had to put it under that, like, I'm just like, it's just maybe like a minute, and I'm like, oh come on, it's still tacky. Anyway.
Yeah, and that stuff heats up too. If it's too thick, the UV light actually like makes the resin hot. So I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem safe. I don't want to be breathing this. All right, but but good to see everybody in the chat. Sorry for the screw up. We're back on. I'll take a look at the settings and see if I've got a hardware setting that it's crashing OBS because. I was trying to figure out at what point in this chain of ridiculousness we were dying, and I'm pretty sure it's OBS choking because it stops sending it to Restream, and then the stream dies because I'm getting a lost connection thing on Restream. But so take a look. If you haven't already watched it, I put everything together. It's about an hour of the flip through for Epic Warpath. You kind of get an idea for the rules. Showed off what you get when you buy a core. It's just like 6 identical sprues, but it's a big variety of troops, and then like how stuff looks painted a little bit, a little preview of that. So hopefully we'll get that on the table with some little appropriately scaled.
There's a lot of stuff I want to get on the table.
Yeah, right. It keeps happening. But let's get started for this week, and good to see everybody. Welcome to the Weekly. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on the Weekly, Gary Gygax Memorial Bench Table. I think it's a table. It's a table.
All right.
Melsonian Arts Council shifts away from something.
Okay.
Of Oil and Iron, another printable damn miniatures game that looks
I'll duck out for that one.
pretty fun.
Yeah, okay.
And Kings of War 4th edition.
4th edition.
Yeah, they're 4th already. All right, so let's start with they're building a memorial table sculpture in honor of Gary Gygax. So this has been attempted for a long time.
Okay.
There has been this foundation, this Gygax Foundation, of course, headed by the widow Gail. Mm-hmm. So Gary passed away in 2008, and ever since then they've been trying to commemorate him somehow in Lake Geneva. Mm-hmm. So in Library Park, they have actually now gotten a hold of the rights to build something in this space. They have the land rights to build something. What are they going to build? They're going to build a stone table, benches, and a statue of Gary himself, and a bronze map on the table that will actually be sized for miniature, so maybe 1-inch squares of his first dungeon that he ever made. So you can sit at that table and play with Gary, and he's going to be holding a hand like this that you can roll your dice out of. So a dice tower hand. So all your dice rolls.
This sounds very gimmicky.
It does.
Okay, fair enough. Say what you want about Gary Gygax. I know I have credited as being the father of tabletop role-playing games. So some kind of memorial. This sounds real gimmicky.
Well, they're taking it to Kickstarter, if that didn't help.
All right.
If you didn't think... So you would think like GaryCon or even Gen Con or something could have an event. They could do, charity auctions or something to generate funds for this. But no, they're going to crowdfunding. So yeah, the Gygax...
Well, is there anything left for them to sell off?
No, yeah, that's
my
true.
thought. They probably peddled it all away.
Yeah. Recently, there was an auction just recently of old stuff. I don't know if that was the Memorial Fund doing that, but yeah, somebody was selling some old TSR goodies. But they'll be launching. Oh, they have launched. I think it started October 1st. Yes, they've launched a Kickstarter for this table. So they need $150,000 for the table and the benches, right?
Right.
And $250,000 will give us the bronze throne.
Okay.
There's nobody in the throne yet. And then at $500,000, $500,000, we get the statue of Gary. And for $925,000, almost $1 million, they'll put the bronze map on the table. So, So if you contribute to this, you'll get a scroll commemorating this event, a mention on the website, but the higher it goes up, I think at $250, you get your name engraved somewhere on this table on the monument somewhere. If you pledge $10,000, which I think is kind of what you've been looking at, that level, $10,000.
Well, if I had $10,000, I wouldn't be pledging it on Gary Gygax statue.
But they did a cute thing where I think the Paul Stormberg designed this multi-level dungeon that is going to be given away to everyone that contributes. But based on your pledge level, that's how many levels of the dungeon you receive. Yeah, so it's like plus $5, like you go from level 1 to 2. So if you level up on the Kickstarter, you get levels of this mini mega dungeon written by Paul Stormberg. The sculptor is to yet have been named, will be internationally acclaimed, but we'll see who that is.
Okay, so someone who's internationally acclaimed, but we're not going to tell you who it is yet.
So it seems like this is all still kind of nebulous. And of course, it's going to take a few years to build. Okay, fine. The basic elements will be in place by October of next year, but we'll see. So this is a project that was actually revived by bids from Mike Martino of La Crosse and James Nance of Loveland, Colorado. Because this has been attempted before. So back in 2012, they raised $100,000, mostly from a single donor. and nothing was constructed. And then in 2022, the bulk of that donation was returned. So thank you for the 10-year loan. That was cool of you. And the foundation itself is listing, like they're being transparent, hopefully as they possibly can, with their funds. So currently the foundation has a balance of $9,759, but they're looking to raise at least after raising that $250,000 for those 12, 13 years. So originally, they were going to. I guess they have invested. The fund has invested in previous, like a park bench kind of thing, and a permanent exhibit at the Lake Geneva Library and Museum is what they were originally funding for. This 50th anniversary of the game last year was when the foundation secured the land granted to them for this memorial.
Okay.
So contribute $5,000 to $10,000, and it is a charitable deduction, so you can take it's deductible from your taxes. Okay. And the other kind of, besides the rolling the dice out of Gary's hand, the other thing that they're going to do is they're leaving the legend of the map off of the table so that it can be changed and it can be a different. Yeah, there can be different things going on in this dungeon level, and they're also going to allow people to upload their own legends to play their own unique games on this table if they make $1 million. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but So and this Paul Stormberg took over the chair of this foundation from Gail in 2020. So hopefully, he won't. And that was after some in 2018. Gail was sued by Luke, Ernie, and Margaret Weiss. So she decided to step down. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. But I am hoping that Fellowship of the Thing. I hope you're listening, Griff. Funds an artisan statue to sit across the table, getting 50% of the attention away from Gary.
I was going to say, fund a separate statue, like on the other side of the park, but staring out.
Right. Yeah, okay. I think just put him in a chair, put him on one of the bench positions right next to Gary. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So if you're interested in following this, keep an eye on their Kickstarter and see what they get. You might just get a bench and some chairs, or a table and some benches. But so they've been trying to do this for a while. This is the latest attempt. I don't think going to crowdfunding is a great idea. It feels a little shady. Plus, Kickstarter gets 20% of that. That's kind of weird. Yeah. But anyhow, moving on to, speaking of crowdfunding and how it sucks, Melsonian Arts Council posted on their blog something a little interesting. The title of the post was DIY Crowdfunding. Okay. And to kind of sum things up, they said, we're hosting our own crowdfunding campaigns here and also, and here and now. We're done with this. It's basically an order system. So down with the old order, long live the new flesh. Yep, okay. So Melsonia has been in operation for 10 years, have been regularly going to Kickstarter, BackerKit, etc., and call it stressful, excessively time-consuming, and broadly demoralizing. Wow. So they just want to focus on making books faster. And this one at a time kind of crowdfunding culture, they were criticizing because they're kind of getting a backlog of books because you can only do them one at a time. You don't want too much overlap or people get kind of suspicious or you're too greedy or whatever. So they've been trickling things out on Kickstarter. Kickstarter takes a piece of it. It's just been not the greatest thing. So they're going to crowdfund their own books on their own shop on their own schedule. So that means they're going to spend less time and money, looking and sounding fancy. And basically, it is, and what crowdfunding is, becomes in a lot of ways is a glorified pre-order. And they're just going to say, we're just going to pre-order this. We want to, get some attention, maybe get some financing for it up front. That'll make it happen faster. That'll make it nicer. So they said, hey, let's not waste people's time and just come out and say it. So why should you support these projects? Because it's very simple. The pre-ordered books will be cheaper. So you buy the book on the store, you'll pay for it up front, and they'll ship it when it's done. So, crowdfunding has those layers of deniability. It's like, we did our best. We really tried. So they're, running this through their shop. They're never going to keep your money because you're going to be charging it back. You're going to be charging it back in your credit card if you're and screw up their business accounts. So they're going to promise you a book or a refund. And so the first books that are going to be part of this will be out January 26th. And so it was things that were kind of in the queue. The Perilous Pear and Plum Pies of Pudwick and the Witch War of to the Vale of Forbiddiction and Beyond.
Wow. Okay.
So those
That's
two
a mouthful.
adventures, those two adventures are on their way. And I think it's the thing, and they talk about this in the blog post. The thing that they're giving up that kind of those platforms promise is visibility. It's going to get promoted to people outside of who visits your website, who's purchased from you before. But they said looking at their backer lists, it's the same people every time. So they're reaching the same people, and these are people that already support them, would know where to go once they'd stop showing up on Kickstarter. So there's not a big advantage. Like Kickstarter's not giving them a huge advantage because they're not. They're not so mainstream. They're niche kind of boutique kind of art RPGs. So they can probably handle their own audience quite well. So that
was a smart thing for them to look at. So like whether they're not reaching a larger audience or like larger audiences aren't interested in the products they're making, I mean the end result is the same. The thing we're paying for on this crowdfunding platform is or doesn't have value to us, right? So we'll just do it ourselves. I said before, like, okay, the idea of crowdfunding, I'm on board with, right? I have an idea. I'm a small time kind of person. I don't have the money to kind of make any kind of upfront commitment to get this produced. I'm not going to be able. So yes, without help, I will not be able to make this thing that I think is pretty cool and I think other people will want.
Right.
It's become a pre-order system for big companies, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, the publicly traded companies are now using this. Yeah. So, they criticize it as a weird sales system and basically ask themselves the question, if we have an audience, why do we feed it into the maw of big tech? Why are we doing that? Because who knows what they're even doing with that data, because they can sell that. I'm sure you have to agree that they can sell your backer data. The only thing that they do give credit to BackerKit, and BackerKit's it's long been paired with Kickstarter until they did their own thing, but BackerKit does make record keeping a lot easier. They do a great job of managing the data, so they're going to miss that. But they have a web store anyhow. So so that was an interesting move, and it makes sense because I think crowdfunding's just getting weirder and weirder, we're going to have more and more disasters and more companies that are just so addicted to it that they're just paying it forward or paying it behind, I guess.
Yeah, paying it behind
to keep getting.
But I mean, like
going.
that's how normal business is supposed to work, right? You're supposed to
take
have
the risks.
You're supposed to have a product.
Right.
You sell it. It's successful. You make a profit with that, and you use that profit to develop further things to sell. Right?
Yeah, but I think in this time with the unpredictable materials costs, manufacturing costs, and shipping costs, people are clinging more to that, guaranteed. It's like, we know we've got this much money because this is what was promised to us. So they're addicted to that.
I mean, I can't fault that either, right? Like you said, like if we don't know what's going to happen, I mean, but that's part of what taking the risk is, right? You do as much research as you can. You figure, okay, well, you build in fail safes and stuff like that. Okay, we've projected we need this much, right? Let's, I don't know, bump it up like 10%, whatever. Not a business major by any means, but that's basically how it's supposed to work, right?
Right. Yes, but something that may be worth looking at on Kickstarter and is only digital, so you're not going to have to worry about delays in fulfillment, of Oil and Iron, a 3D printable, print-and-play diesel punk, mecha, skirmish, war game set in the war-torn, resource-starved Smoglands. All right, so towering rig manufacturing corporations have grown vast, so they've swallowed the nations that once governed them. So this is Scott Harding, I believe is the designer's name, a solo developed project. This is something that, it's just a passion project, something he's been working on for the past 3 years, doing sculpting of miniatures, writing the lore, designing the mechanics. So Of Oil and Iron is entirely his own. So Scott was a marine biologist before this and was just kind of fascinated with how badly things can go wrong in the world. So this crowdfunding campaign is going to be used to finalize and polish the rulebook, packed with lore, artwork, and campaigns. And they're going to keep producing new miniatures, rigs, and expansions to expand the world. And they want to also, of course, grow in the future of Oil and Iron into a fully realized war game that the community can enjoy, shape, and make their own. So the Ironclads, the revered pilot, the infamous rigs. So this is a 15 millimeter scale war game played on a 30 by 22 board.
You have my
so
attention.
very kitchen table friendly. But what they're also doing, because they have the versatility of making the models scalable, they're going to release pre-supported both 15 millimeter and 32 if you're like bigger stuff and like painting bigger stuff.
Why don't you go 6, man?
Yeah, right. Well, it's
six?
possible. It's possible.
Like, come on, if you went like 15, you could play on like a 15 by 10 inch space.
Yeah. So basically, it feels a lot. I mean, the mechanics are a bit different, but it feels a lot like he took things he liked about BattleTech and kind of stripped the technology away, kind of brought it back to like a diesel punk state. And so you'll build your rigs, you construct a squadron, light, medium, heavy, and colossal. Customize them with weapons and equipment. Loadouts will feel different. There'll be close quarter brawlers and long range artillery pieces. You'll have a rig control terminal, so you can use that to power everything. In the game itself, you'll have actions that generate heat, and so you have to manage heat, which is a familiar concept. Each of the rigs will have 6 to 8 weapon options, as well as unique rig-specific equipment. So all of the cards will be provided print to play, and he standardized the sizes of them so you can sleeve them and help them. Okay. If you're just printing them out on like photo paper or whatever, they'll last longer. It's a D6 tracking system. You'll have structure points, but he's also using a D12 to get a little bit of a swingier roll for certain things you're doing. You'll be rolling D12s, but D6s are for tracking everything. 5 actions per turn. Manage that heat. React. There's reaction events and things. So hidden kind of reactions that don't trigger until your opponent does something. So a little bit of strategy and surprise. So ambush, counterfire, and clever feints will make it tense and cinematic. Okay. So you can play with as little as 2 rigs per side and up to 8 or more to make it a bigger battlefield. So the official scale is 15 millimeter, but they will also be producing 32 millimeter. They'll do 2 versions of the rule books to give you, because they're only going to be PDFs. So there'll be 2 versions of the rule books that'll give you the measurements and the scale change. Okay. So you don't have to like convert anything. There'll be the 32 millimeter book and the 15. So Dice with the Impact, swingier D12s. Will give you cinematic, tense moments. A single roll could mean a glancing blow or a devastating strike. And so what they want to do, of course, to keep this living long after the campaign funding ends, is there's already an existing Patreon, and the creator was really nice of going on and saying thanks everybody for all the support. It wouldn't have been possible without you doing this. So my Mini Factory Tribe and a Patreon will continue to support this in the future, and he's looking forward to doing monthly releases of, kind of telling a longer story, or just, adding new weapon options and things through the digital way. Oh no, what happened to my notes here? Okay, so yes, so we've also got so everything is modular, so it's going to come in pieces, but what that does is let there be a range of standardized weapons, a range for rig-specific weapons. So all of the kind of joints will fit interchangeably. Okay. So posing and loadout is kind of up to your creativity. You can make things very dramatic or very scaled down. So you can do quick assembly or kind of mix and match components. The ball joint and elbow sockets will allow you to change things between different rigs, but of course following the rules. The different factions in the game: the Free Gear Coalition, the Arcus Technology Squadron, the Crim Corporation, the Triton Engineering Squad, and Nox Industries Squadron. And there's a lot of painted miniatures already in the rule books on the website, and everything looks good. So you're going to get a digital rule book, and then access to however many rigs you want to support. There'll be 2 cover styles for the rule book: lore about the Smoglands, lore for each faction, some short stories, and a campaign system. So he's going all in. This is like a real war game, richly illustrated PDF, and so basically just want some to take some time off work, with this funding, dedicate it to polishing every detail of the game, and just remember this is digital only. So You will get just digital versions of everything, so you have to be able to print the models to play the game. And you'll get the rule book as soon as the beta is done. The beta version's going out to everybody that backed it, and I'm sure Patreon and my mini factory supporters as well. A full campaign system, ongoing storyline, fight for territory, salvage, and reputation. And your forces will evolve over time. So yeah, between battles, you can upgrade and spend some salvage on. Spend some salvage upgrading things. So yeah, it looks like you can feel the kind of love and passion for this setting and everything in it just by looking at the crowdfunding page. So yeah, it looks well worth. They did run into the problem though, because it's not physical materials. The prices seem high, like the pledge levels do seem high, but I think that's just because we've gotten so conditioned to $10 a month Patreons giving you 50 STLs to print every single month. Like our idea of like what a digital miniature costs is very skewed, just like early days of like ebooks and things.
Or I was going to say like the PDF argument.
Yeah, right, exactly. So you're going to have to fund this as if it were closer to physical, in thinking closer to something that you would be receiving physically, because that's how they need to be compensated, because he's hired artists and this is all has invested a lot of
digital work is still work.
Yeah. So, but people now have this because it's existed for a long time now, where digital files that you can print at home. People have this expectation. Oh, it's like $2 a piece, $5 a piece. You kind of need to pay what
pay what it's worth.
Yeah, pay what it's worth, and also somebody doing this is really sticking their neck out, because all somebody has to do is one all-in pledge and just throw it out there on the internet. They need to have people that want to support the project, are fans, and want to see this grow. Because if this is a one-and-done kind of project, it's so easy to just copy-paste and give to the rest of the world. So doing a digital-only project, you are kind of sticking your neck out in that way. And so support this guy. Make sure.
And don't do that copy-paste.
Yeah, exactly. This looks like a really fun and good project, and the creator seems very gracious and very just humble that this got so much attention and support. So take a look and see if it's up your alley. Oh, and there's guest sculptors as well. So there's some alternative sculpts that I think are Kickstarter exclusive. So those STLs will only be available through this campaign, with really unique looks if you want to have a force that looks very different from your others. But guest sculptors are also contributing. And finally, something that I don't think is going to crowdfunding. We'll find out. I don't know. Could be.
Knock on wood.
Kings of War 4th edition. So yeah, the original one, 2010 was when the first edition was announced.
15 years.
And that was just basically trying to knock off Warhammer, and then that died in 2015, right? That died. So they've had an advantage. They blew that advantage because they released a book. A book of stat lines for all of your old fantasy miniatures. Come play those in Kings of War. Like I think it was like Forgotten Kingdoms or Lost Kingdoms or something. They released a book that was basically like, here's all the stats for all your Warhammer Fantasy miniatures that GW just abandoned. Come play with us. And they didn't push that hard enough. Maybe they were worried about the legal ramifications, but they should have pushed that really hard. It's like they're willing to throw that away. They're moving to round bases. That first edition of Age of Sigmar was garbage. They should have just said rank and flank. That's where you come. And I think for the most part that did, because Kings of War does have respect in that way. People admire this rule set as doing stuff a little bit better, because Warhammer Fantasy Battles got kind of wacky. Just like all GW games, they just keep adding rules.
GW is a miniatures company that peddles rules in order to make you buy more miniatures.
Right. Yes. So there was a blog post. They've got a really nice development hub for this 4th edition, where they have a bunch of thumbnails, and the thumbnails go live that link to videos as they keep releasing things. But Alessio Cavatore posted a blog post about coming back and taking a look with fresh eyes at Kings of War and helping them create 4th edition, because I think he was involved in 1st edition. He was involved in Epic Warpath. He's involved in a lot of what's going on at Mantic. But he said on the blog post, my first step was to take a look at Kings of War with fresh eyes. I wanted to understand where the game stood today, what the players loved, what they struggled with, and what new players might find daunting. I studied the latest rulebooks, army lists, and community feedback, and attended the Clash of Kings 2024 to see firsthand how the game had evolved. So basically, this is going to be an effort to modernize the rules, introduce new tactical depth, and improve clarity. Because the concern, and I think the longer games have been around, they become kind of veteran only, and they can't onboard newcomers very easily because there's just too much too big an uphill battle.
So a learning curve?
Yeah, learning curve. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. And so they're going to divide the rules into core rules and advanced rules to make it easy to just start playing. And I think that's always a good thing. Just take some of this detail out, and here's the learning rules is always a good way to play for the first time, because you're going to forget so much. The game might appear broken because there's just too many things you've missed in a complicated rule set. So streamlining and standardization, they're going to change unit sizes to give kind of more general unit sizes. And of course, Kings of War is so you're not removing models from trays. Everything is a base. So they're going to standardize so visually things look more identifiable. You can tell that's a regiment. That's a
okay.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
that's a
don't
horde.
Do that, right?
Yeah. So they're doing that a little. Maybe things got away from them, because I remember early days. You got to be really careful with if you want a rank and flank and somebody's holding a spear diagonally, and you can't, tuck them all in. So they had to be careful with that kind of stuff. They're going to switch to hero bases are going to be a standard 40 or 50 millimeter single nerve value. The hero height and strengths will be more standard values. They'll replace traits will replace keywords. Unit positioning system works differently, and they're going to fix some of the confusing terminology. Special rules and hero behavior. So this is now in the playtesting and kind of community feedback phase very soon. So people will, start giving feedback about how this feels, and if this still is Kings of War, because that's the thing you have to.
I suppose that's the other. Yeah, but you just said that's the other thing they have to consider. Like, you can't pull like a D&D 4th edition, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, this has to feel. I've never played Kings of War. I don't know what the Kings of War feel is, but. It's got to have one, if this is going to be Kings of War, it's got to feel, appropriate. Yeah,
so I'll put a link to that hub. Give Mantic some love and see if you like things ranked up. This is a good system to play it on, and the kind of freedom and creativity they give you with the bases, I think is very fun too.
Not that much more. Right? Not that it's not creativity. Like as someone who's been like reading Triumph and DBA and kind of similar games where like. The measurements are base widths, right? And all the base widths are like the same. Those have, they're not like ironclad rules, but they're like, if you have this troop type, then this is the recommended base depth size, and this is the recommended number of models on the base. And that's how you tell the difference between like blades and spears and archers and skirmishers, and it's like, if it has that many people on the base and it's that deep, it's this type of unit. So I guess I'm kind of surprised that Kings of War before now, I don't know if it's true, but it sounds like things had kind of gotten away from the how many models are on that base and what kind of thing is it?
Yeah, they were letting you like not have a specific number of models, but I think if you're talking about smaller scale too, you're kind of counting pips almost. It's more like a dice. It's more visually recognizable. Yeah. Whereas Kings of War was letting you.
Kings of War is 28, right?
Yeah. So they were letting you put like dead bodies and the heads of your opponent on the bases if you.
Yeah, 2 millimeters. You might as well be counting like dusts of grains of dust on the thing. What's that? Yeah.
Yes. But so I'll put links to everything in the description, and that'll do it for this week.
Cool.
So where can people find you?
Instagram, that's it. I think a couple things I'm working on, painting the Asterians, finally doing that. Trying to work on a new board for a grid-based tank game that I printed the little tanks for, which is fun.
Nice.
Still working on 2 millimeter little armies, and valiantly trying to resist picking up some 10 millimeter stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm at the stage where I'm like, okay, I've bought bases from this company, or like I want to look at. I almost want to compare the quality and size of the vast array of historical wargaming miniatures companies, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, another scale. Right? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. They must do that, so that's like, just buy our range. This is our game, our range.
Well, some people have like a huge, extensive range, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
right? I'm looking like, wow, this is impressive. It's different from the stuff I have, right? So that means like tricking myself into say I'd like play a game would mean like, okay, now I got to make a board for it, and now I got to make like stat scaled scenery for it, right, and all that stuff, right? All the other stuff that goes along with it. I'm just like I'm fighting real hard to like not put in an order for stuff. Yeah. Anyway. So, how about you?
Nice. So, yeah, I've got a cartooning stream coming up eventually. Oh, nice. Yeah, Abuse Cartoons on YouTube and Twitch. So, I'll draw my single panel gag cartoon, which you can read at gocomics.com/domestic abuse. And yeah, that's got to be happening soon because I think I'm running out.
Right.
And yes, so we also, so if you like what we're doing here with the weekly, consider becoming a weekling.
The strongest of all supporters.
You can do that by visiting patreon.com/upturntable. And if you did that last month, be sure to remember to upgrade your free, or upgrade or use. You've got 3 months of free, which is now over, which is now finished and now closed. But yes, let us know what you want to see more of on the weekly, the kind of things we should cover and talk about. More wargaming, more role playing, more board gaming. What's interesting?
Less critical role.
Less critical role.
Less Gygax. Right? Okay.
Yeah, right. More Gygax Memorial discussions. And yeah, so you can find us on upturntable.com is the website, and then on YouTube and Twitch and all kinds of other places we do our live streams, and all the good social medias. So we'll think tomorrow, if our sanity holds, we will finish our Edge of Darkness Call of Cthulhu adventure.
Nice.
And then we will figure out, what's going on. And we might do something in person for Halloween. Halloween time.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
So trying to get it together. Yep.
We'll give that a shot. So some IRL roleplay. That's crazy. Just think of it.
What's that?
Not using a virtual tabletop. Yeah. All right. So thanks for joining us, and we'll be back again next week.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye. the squeakiest chair ever, but it's the only thing that has a back on it. All right, so the Discord is open. If anybody wants to jump into the weekly live voice channel, I can pull that up. But otherwise, yeah, it's good to be back. Yeah, it's good. So I guess the Friday meeting thing, or it's actually Thursday, but the Fridays are going to be real hit and miss because the meeting is not regular, but it's where the big manager shows up, so it's compulsory. There's no way to take a lunch break during that time. So we'll do our best and get back to it. So yeah, sorry I didn't have anything set up to replace it, but we missed our Call of Cthulhu last week, and I think it was just Matt had been so tired of being online with me that just got physically ill at the thought of having to log back in. But we'll give that a shot for tomorrow. So tune into that, and we'll figure out if we're going to keep going with Call of Cthulhu throughout October, or if we want to switch stuff. And the new Vaesen stuff is arriving sometime. I think I'm going to probably get it last. I get stuff from Freely pretty late, but we shall see. And sorry about the hiccup. I think it's video card related because it's kind of happening in the same way. And OBS refuses to shut down, so it stops sending out video and refuses to shut down. So I think it's a setting. I'm asking hardware that doesn't really exist to do something that it can't do, because I'm sure this video card that's in this machine is from before OBS existed. Yes, it's that old. So I'll take a look at the Patreon and see if we can upgrade the video card to something that hasn't been. I'll go to an actual physical store and buy a physical card instead of ordering something online. Yeah, what was the 3060 that I bought? It was something funky had happened to it. I couldn't get any good information, but there was just no way to not make it glitch out and just turn the video off. The PC was still running, but the video was off. And this, we have the opposite problem. We have a very under-spec'd card that can't handle live streaming. Yay. But good to see everybody. Sorry for the rocky start there. Nice. So Cork is saying, still haven't finished my dwarf army for Confrontation from 20 years ago. Nice. Oh, yeah, the dwarves are great. Yeah. Confrontation's got some great models. I've got a bunch of Confrontation metal. Nice. Yeah, that's why they went to... Didn't Confrontation go to pre-painted? Yeah, they did for a little while. That Fantasy Flight version, or whoever was producing that, they went to pre-painted for a while, and that's just too expensive. Nice. So good to see you in the chat, Quark and Miguel. Yeah, Miguel's got to come over for some epic Warpath sometime. Oh, and as an even more tempting. So I haven't gotten through this yet, but I do have the Praetorian Stalker stats here, and look at that. So Miguel, you have to stop by and pick up your Stalker. When I didn't order any miniatures from the Warzone Eternal campaign, but I was talking to Miguel online and said that he has a Praetorian Stalker from every version that's ever been produced for it, so I ordered some Stalkers. Nice. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Confrontation. That's a shame, because there was a real shady crowdfunding where a company claimed that they had the original sculpts of a lot of the Confrontation. They were, if you pledged a certain level, they would give you one of the original sculpts that they had in their possession. Plus, they were going to retool those or recast those. It was so shady. I ended up contributing $1 just to watch the nightmare go on in the because it went on for quite a few years. That went on in the comments section of that. But yeah, some shady. They just had no idea what they were doing and pretending that they were bringing Confrontation back. But first, they were going to do a release of old miniatures and a kind of a retro thing, and then they were going to do this upgraded, like reincarnated version. It was so shady. This who knows French company, but yes, more gray for the throne of gray. Nice. Nice. Yeah, right. Matt saying, who has time to paint 28mm rank and flank anymore? Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's the scale of the epic warpath is nice because you can get that painted real fast. Nice. Oh, Matt's saying, Jeremy, we could play that small board skirmish game you covered last week. And how can we? Yes, that is very true. The only problem, we could use tokens, but I think you have to track with D6s. You have to track some things. But yeah, Great Helm. Yeah, that would be a good thing to try. Yeah, because I've got the Chris was on the Patreon of the creator, so we've got the beta rules. But yeah, we should give that a try because we could just do some, just grab some Art of Knights and put together some quick groups because you only need 6. Each side only needs 6, and it's a small board. So yeah, that might be a fun thing to try. Yeah, that's a great idea. Matt, do some Great Helm, especially wow. Oh, hey, Calerion, thank you so much. Is that for the video card fund? I missed. Yes. Oh, thank you. Whoa. No, thank you. So, thank you. 1999, Calerion. Thank you. Yes. Okay. That will definitely go to this. So I'll see what the balance is on the Patreon because we don't touch that except for expenses for the channel. So thank you so much. That'll do it. Because I think we don't need anything. We just need to be in the recent family of cards. Something within the last decade would be great. But I'll definitely invest in that. Yeah, because I was panicking because even the 3D software for the printer was crashing on the old card. And that was getting really, really frustrating because it's really unpredictable. Sometimes it's fine, but if you ask it to do a little bit too much, it just drops. So I took out that old card and I had a couple of old towers. And so I was digging through those and like, oh, this one's got a card in it still. And yeah, this should be enough. And it had, the right number of outputs and stuff to give me all my multi-monitors. But yeah, it's an old GTX from back in the day. But thank you, Calerion. That will be put to the appropriate use. Much appreciated. Yeah, that winking out. I'll try to see if there's any software settings that'll prevent that from happening. But yeah, I need to get a better card. And also it slows down. An old video card slows down the video rendering and everything. So it took forever to render that Mantic, the Epic Warpath live stream into usable footage. But yeah, good to see everyone. Yeah, that's a good idea, Matt. Trying some Great Helm. We had some fun playing miniature games on there. Yes, very, very nice. All right. Okay, cool. Matt's relaxing, so not near a microphone. Very cool, very cool. Right. Yeah. Well, good to see everybody. That was funny when I was setting up the stream to go live. I noticed on the Upturned Table channel, for some reason, I'm following, maybe because when we were talking about them more often, I was following Critical Role, and the notification popped up that they went live for their Matt Mercerless season campaign. Like, who's watching this? And it got, maybe they always get a lot of downvotes, but maybe the Matt Mercerless ones were a little bit more downvoted. That's pretty crazy. Oh yeah, Confrontation, I'm talking about that right now. Yeah, I've got the, yes, Age of Ragnarok, that's right. The pre-painted starter set is up there. I was kind of in a kick of buying the Dead games. They're big starter sets. So I've got the AT-43 and and for the Maelstrom and all kinds of fun starter sets here. just to do comparisons and see what things used to be like, because they'll never be like that again. So that's a shame. But yeah. So we'll finish our adventure. Matt saying Kickstarter Memorial. I think that's really inappropriate to take trying to get $1 million off of crowdfunding. They probably thought that would have a bigger reach. It would have an international reach. So, because Kickstarter, is in multiple languages and stuff, so they figured they could probably get more money from it. But they should have been something that was done through GaryCon or something. But that's maybe how they failed in the past. So who knows? Who knows? But yeah, we'll see. Very good, very good. Yeah, much appreciated. Clarion, that's very, very cool. So yeah, let's see what we can do to get things to run a little more solid. I will be able to stream from home eventually, now that I'm doing better and need to be less near certain facilities. Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, we'll do okay. Cool. So yeah, what else is going on? Yeah, we'll do a flip through of the Warzone Eternal. I really want to take a look at the stats and things and see what I have miniatures for, because that would be fun to give that rule set a try. Very much. But now Matt's got me all thinking about Great Helm in Alchemy. Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, I'll double check the rules, because I do think you need, because you roll dice, you roll d6s each round. That gives you initiative plus what you're able to do. So we're going to have to be able to roll d6s, but save those results and then spend them. So it might be a little trickier in Alchemy, but we can maybe do tokens. Just do tokens that have the value on them, then do the roll and just drag the tokens out onto the combat map. That might work. We'll give it a shot. We'll make it do stuff it's never intended. Yeah, but probably easier than dealing with Roll20. And I think I forget when when they were offering that deal, but I'm sure my Roll20 thing is coming to a close. So no more Daggerheart on the channel. I can't believe I said that. Oh no, we're definitely going to lose our ranking. Nice. But very fun. Yeah, so hopefully this stream will hang in there. I shut everything else down, like I had Photoshop and stuff opened, so maybe the extra memory will help. But yeah, I think we're cool with everything. So what else? Yeah, so I did some in the, I should memorize the name of this because I keep calling it the wrong thing. So the Mantic thing is called the Vault. So the Mantic Vault is their STL archive, the Vault. So they had some Forge Fathers terrain for 28 millimeter, but it was pretty adaptable to the scale we're going to be doing. So I've been printing a bunch of that. So there's no elf terrain, but there was some fun Forge Fathers stuff. So I'm getting a whole tray of that, but just stuff that'll make the board look a little more themed. I can't get close enough to the camera. See, 10 millimeter, can you see it? Or yes, and that's right. Early days of the discussion, and even still on the website, I didn't bring this up during the live stream, but they're basically Epic Warpath doesn't have a real firm. They're kind of saying it's 10 millimeter to the eye level, 12 to the head probably. So it is technically between 10 and 12 scale. They just wanted to make it, do kind of a more comfortable, bigger scale. But there's some cool, like little power generator deals and stuff that were all part of the Vault, and little assembled Iron Ancestors. Yeah, some fun stuff that'll make the board look a little more themed. But yeah, the and so now I've everything that does pre-supported and has the well done miniatures. I printed everything from War Games Atlantic, Mantic, the stuff that's digital for War Machine, and everything is good. The War Machine stuff, the bigger stuff, you gotta dial it in a little bit with the settings. I think once you get to a certain scale, you need to change a few of the settings for lift and times to make sure it doesn't fall off the build plate. But things have been going pretty well. As much as a lot of people, the printer we have, a lot of people were bitching about it, how fussy it is, or people have been having trouble with it. And maybe there was just like a higher number of faulty units, because they do say keep your box for 30 days just in case things go south. But yeah, we haven't had any trouble. So things have gone well. We're getting close to the lifespan of the first film. The first FEP is almost concluded. So yeah, it's gone well. Unfortunately, we've just been having random rainy days, so I haven't been able to prime stuff. Like I used to, just rattle can priming outside is easier than setting up a booth or something in here. The one window for ventilation we have is busy, very busy. But yeah, so hopefully we'll just get some color on all of our 1,000 points of Warpath and see how it runs. And I think 1,000 points, we don't need actually a 4x6. We can probably do 4x4 because it's much less, many less units than you would think. And then 2,000 will play a little bit better. It's just you don't want to spend that many turns just getting into range. I think it's okay because the ranges the ranges will work on 4x4 as well, and then we'll just have a little bit faster, shorter of a game. But yeah, so and they're doing the nice thing that they do on a lot of these subscriptions too is their loyalty, like 3 and 6 month loyalty models. And for the Mantic Vault, there's some good stuff. Yeah, there's some really big, elaborate models. And they're really covering a lot of stuff now. At the beginning, like my concern in early days, because I was in on the early bird for it because it was very cheap in combination with the companion app, is they were just doing a lot of Armada. So they finally gotten through in that first year of all the Armada fleets. You know, their kind of Dread Fleet, Mantic's version of Dread Fleet. And so I was worried that it was just going to be discontinued games and stuff. But they've done a really good job of doing upgrade pieces for sets that they're releasing, and I think that works really well. If you're thinking about buying into like the Halfling army or whatever they're doing, they'll give you some different parts to either upgrade them, give them different weapons, or just kind of what would be an upgrade sprue. So it's good stuff. And it's been fun. I'm glad the timing worked out well. I'm glad Chris and I went in on this when we did. It's given us a lot more options, perhaps too many options for playing stuff, physical stuff in real life and all that. But excellent. Yeah, so I hope everyone is doing well. We'll figure out what kind of good stuff is coming up in November. Oh no. Arturo's asking, are we talking new Battletech fiction from Michael Stackpole? Is somebody in trouble again that's doing Battletech fiction? It seems that the company managing that has some very specific things they want to do. Oh, and a little bit of Alien Earth talk. Nice. Yeah, there have been so many follow-ups. Yeah, I guess I should do our I released the audio. That's right. So the audio, they claimed copyright claimed the live stream. So that's in the member section for for YouTube members if you want to watch that. And the audio is on the RSS feed as well. But I can release it. I can put that up on our 4-hour discussion. I can put that up on the regular podcast RSS feed if people are interested. But yes, nice. Yeah, good to see you, Arturo. Oh yeah, and I got a reply from the guys that are doing the English Sword World, and asked if we were local. And so I got to get back to them and say, well, Arturo is local, but we're very far away. You guys are still competing for points in the comments in the live stream chat. Am I still live? I can't even see what's going on here. Yeah, I guess as long as Restream doesn't say disconnected, it doesn't say anything. Yeah, very funny. All right, but what else do we have? Yeah. So Chris has been talking. I guess there's some 5e players at the workplace that may be seduced into doing something spooky. I don't know. Chris was talking Alien or Monster Hearts or something, a little more thematic for Halloween. So we'll see what comes up. So I imagine that's Chris running it. So I'll try to, maybe if people are camera shy, just do like an audio, which that works well for our Discord stuff. So maybe I'll just do an audio recording of our session, just so we can have that as a record and something we can put up for the members and patrons if people are shy. Yeah, because every group and every group and every game, it's a very different style. So it will be very different from what we've been doing weekly on Discord. So we'll see. But I think there's some people that are really shy. And I have a feeling there's some people that are like fugitives from justice or something. Because a couple of the board game days, we did early days with Edo Red Hands, we did some interviews with the founders of this gaming group in the Kansai area and kind of Osaka area. And bringing a camera into a game day, there were people that were literally like doing this the whole time. Like, so yeah, I'm sure there's people that are just like insanely camera shy and, worry about pictures of them, because, social media just means anytime there's a picture of you, people can post it anywhere and tag you in it and whatever. But I was pointing the camera, I was doing like B-roll and pointing the camera just down at the tables, and people freaked out. So yeah, don't need releases for your hands, I don't believe, but you never know. People are weird. But there might be people that have fled their home countries for questionable reasons, because that was a surprisingly dramatic response for turning on a video camera. All right, but yeah, I think we're good with everything. Yeah. This should be a good session. So everyone seems to be good to go for tomorrow. So please tune in for the climax of Edge of Darkness. And if you already know that adventure, you kind of know, what's coming. And and then there's one more adventure in the starter set that will take us to New Orleans. So that's kind of funny because that's where Terry's character is from. That's where kind of things have been pointed. One of the characters in this adventure was murdered there. So there's all kinds of stuff drawing us to 1920s Louisiana, New Orleans. So we'll see how that goes, and what we're up to play further, and also everyone's schedule for the rest of the month. We'll have to see how regular we can do this. But yeah. I think I saw in there, Matt made a good point about the card deal. Is that they're probably not going to be putting the stats on those cards because it's the new subclasses. It's the new classes and subclasses, so they're probably not going to appear in a book. They'll appear maybe in a PDF, but it's going to be a while before they've got enough to probably publish another set of rules and kind of their Unearthed Arcana, their version of Unearthed Arcana. It's going to be a while before that happens. So Matt's right. If you want those stats not on a website. You got to buy the cards. Yeah, so they'll probably do okay, won't they? Let's see. Class packs. How are they doing? 182,000, no problem. Yeah, geez, they just started. I think it went live like yesterday, and yeah, they've already. But their goal was 100,000. Wow. Yeah, so they're not being conservative. They're asking for what they need. Yeah, so 9 classes from levels 1 to 10. They've already got 1,200 backers. I love those critters. They're pretty big, though. We didn't have the physical stuff. I just did everything digital when we played Daggerheart. But those are huge cards. If that's right, they're showing them in someone's hand. And maybe it's 2 decks. Maybe it's, yeah, that's right. It's probably like 2 decks of like 36 or whatever. That's why the box is so big. They're not this big. Cards you can cover your face with. Yeah, they're probably the more standard, like a tarot size card or whatever, but they're in giant boxes. But they will give you a free PDF of the core rulebook if you back these cards. It's interesting though. There's no way to. So maybe it's not totally integrated yet. I don't know. I wonder if you have to buy them separately in Demiplane. You know, if it's an upsell in Demiplane, or if you bought their core thing, if they'll just be added in. It's got to be weird because I don't know how they're going to keep track of all of this version and upgrade stuff. Now my curiosity has gotten the best of me. Let's see if they're trying to sell us. Yeah, so the Daggerheart Nexus. What are they doing? Of course, it doesn't remember my login. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I can't remember if what account that's under. Yeah, don't change the name of your of your podcast and YouTube channel. Nope, that ain't it. That's funny. Okay. But yeah, I think it's all. Yeah, I'm curious, like how they're gonna, because for digital cards, they can't ask for $25 a pack for digital cards, can they? I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, there we go. Yeah, but that integration, I mean, the game or whatever, yeah, not amazing, but the integration was surprisingly good. Between, I mean, you have to use Roll20 because it's all the same company, but yeah, that was surprising. We'll see. I have no idea what account this would even be. Nope. All right. So, yeah. What else is going on? Yeah, just the printing. Yeah, I haven't tried any. I'm just using gray resin for the miniatures, but I'm curious to try some of the clear stuff. People have gotten some interesting results with clear stuff. And then for, terrain or effects or whatever, you can do flames and crystals and all kinds of fun stuff with the clear resins. I just haven't messed with any of it. And they keep tempting me, like Elegoo is the company that makes the printer. They keep having random flash sales for resin and stuff. They keep making it cheap. And thankfully there's a domestic, website in Japan for everything. So everything doesn't have to come internationally, or we'd be screwed. All right. Oh, cool. But let's see. What else am I missing? Oh, sorry. I'm going to read the chat. What am I missing? Sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry. The chat is... I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't have the chat on my monitor. I apologize for... yeah, I've got a weird preview that doesn't have the right layer. Let me try that. I will read the chat. I swear. Will this work? There it is. Okay. Okay. There we go. I can scroll. Oh, and Miguel says, yeah, Call of Cthulhu with vets is a horrible game. Oh, you were on Discord? I'm sorry. Sorry. Did you guys jump in? Yeah, I once Matt called it off, I disconnected the call. Sorry. Sorry, I'm not managing this stream. I'm still not back up to full strength. You're going to have to forgive me. Nice. Yeah, sorry. I'll put it on. I keep missing the post. Yeah, so if you guys are still there, wait. If you guys are still there, okay, the call is back on, and I can put the audio on. Sorry if you guys all left. Oh, cool. So Arturo said, I do have time to interview them now if you want someone local. Oh, cool. Yeah, I that'll be good. Let's talk on the Discord about that. A new graphic novel series by Stackpole Catalyst announced. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't see that. But yes, so, and I guess that's going to be desktop audio, digital. There we go. All right. Yeah, sorry about that. Discord. See, I come up with these new things and then I forget all about them. You guys caught me while I was trying to figure out my demiplane password. All right. But yeah, the call's open back again. Maybe everybody required. Get me a telegraph. All right. Cool. Yeah, that would be that would be wonderful, because I think it sounded like from how they replied, they were curious about what we wanted to talk about and if they had somebody local. So yeah, if you're up for it, Arturo, I'll get back to them and then we'll get that set up. That would be awesome. Very, very cool. And if you have any sort of I'm sure a phone would work just as well, but if you have any way to record the audio, that would be awesome too. Nice. Uh-oh. Like super pass. Abyss is gone. Okay, well, we missed all of that. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't have on the big preview monitor, it was just previewing the camera source, not the live stream source, so I didn't have the big giant chat popping up, so sorry. No notification. I didn't have Facebook or anything open, so couldn't see. Yeah, careful. Abyss getting drawn away into the scuffed live stream world of Upturned Table. Cool. Yeah, so there we go. Let me do... Oh, how come I'm not hearing this? Oh, because it's not up. Bum, on the mixer. Hey, is this Arturo? Or is this who am I?
Yes, it is.
Hey, nice. Thanks for jumping on. Yes. So they got back to me. I got back to me from the group that's producing Sword World. So yeah, they'd love to talk to you. And I think it sounded like they preferred something in person and local. But so that'd be great.
Yeah, I can reach out to a friend about getting some recording stuff and figuring out how to get that recording to you. That's fine. Excellent.
Yeah, thanks. That'd be much appreciated. So how are things going? Been busy?
Good. And now that the restaurant's opening, I'm not working 16-hour days.
Oh, good. Good, good. Have you been getting back to any role play? Have you done anything in person? Anything tabletop?
No, sadly, Coriolis with you guys is the last thing I've played.
Oh,
But I have gotten, I kickstarted the Vaesen,
mhm.
City of Nightmares and Mythic Carpathia. So I got
Yes.
those in the mail just recently.
Nice, nice.
And then the Coriolis box set, the one for their campaign, I think it's called Flowers for Algernon or something. That should be coming in the mail soon.
Oh, nice. That's good. Yeah,
And
that
I'm
was
thinking of doing it maybe in person or digital campaign for that, because that was a fun game.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was really fun. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was my first experience with Coriolis. I'd read the book but hadn't played, and of course that the newer version is very different. You know, the setting is different. So good stuff.
Yeah, fascinating that they chose to move away from kind of the hallmark of Coriolis and focus, which is like the whole Middle Eastern vibe, and focusing more on survival horror.
Yeah.
So the cultural skin is much more light this time around.
Yeah, and that survival horror kind of thing. That was really interesting. That was fun. I liked that a lot, and didn't expect it. Didn't expect it to feel that way. But good stuff.
Yeah, wait, since you've played Forbidden Lands, did the Coriolis survival aspect kind of meet, or was it similar to the Forbidden Lands survival, or is it totally different?
It's got some similarities. Like, you know, there's different roles in the party, and they're making roles that either complicate, you know, that make things go better or worse. But it feels more traditional fantasy hex crawl in that way. This had a nice kind of sci-fi element, because you were measuring these kind of lengths that we were going. It wasn't hex crawling on a map and having to forage and start starving or start not sleeping. So it was more technical. The Coriolis one felt a little bit more technical. I think for Forbidden Lands they were going for a more traditional kind of wilderness survival kind of thing.
Yeah, and I do think that the Kickstarter or the starter version that we did was a little simplified. I think the core game, the survival mechanics are a little bit more intense.
Nice. Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah,
at least that's what I got from when I browsed the core book. It seemed like there were a lot of aspects of the game that aren't featured in the starter set.
Yeah, and that would make sense too, to just let people in a little more gently. Yeah, that's good. Good. We'll have to get back to that sometime, and let us know if you do end up playing that in person. Let us know how that goes, like the full version, like once the full rule set is going. Well, very good. So have you been to the game store? I'm forgetting the name of the company, but the guys that are doing Sword World.
I think it's level 1, but yeah, it's in like the area of town that I'm in, and it became my go-to game store, because the big board game store is like a 30-minute drive south of where I'm at. And the one that the sword people are, what's the game again? The Lodos War. I just know it as the Lodos War game.
Yeah, it's Sword World, I believe, is the Japanese
Sword
title
World
that they're going to use.
Yeah, their shop is like a 10-minute drive from my apartment.
Oh, nice.
So I usually pop in there if I'm like running errands, and like I've bought, like, they have a really nice indie board RPG section in their tabletop area, and that's really cool. They do a thing also, like, how like back in the day when we would rent movies at Blockbusters, they had like the employee picks.
Oh yeah.
And they'll have like employee picks on the different indie games. So I always thought that was cool, because a lot of the bigger game stores, they're so tabletop oriented, so board game oriented. Yeah. Their tabletop is kind of shrunk over the years, and it's all like Magic the Gathering or Warhammer.
Wow.
40K.
Yeah.
So a lot of the bigger game stores don't have a dedicated indie RPG section, and this store does, which I think is kind of cool.
That's great. Yeah, and there's some curation and some guidance. Yeah, I like employee picks. That's always when there used to be record stores or CD stores, I guess, and music stores or video stores. That's always great to get some feedback for people that spend all day interacting with that media. Nice.
Yeah, and like you said, it's curated. It's a good way to like get people that are maybe newer in tabletop RPGs, or like maybe they've only played fifth edition. Like when they want to branch out, you get a little bit more guidance on what's some cool things, and you know, little difference between like the mechanical crunchy games versus the narrative focused games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a really important role that. I don't think all stores are fulfilling, is like helping people, like, you know, what's next, or I'm not crazy about this, but I'm doing it for the social aspect of it. What else can we be playing, or, you know, what are the other groups out there? Yeah, I think and also, yeah, there's just people dropping the ball with a lot of that stuff. But it's,
I think a lot of the old school game stores have a lot of gatekeepy type staff that are kind of curmudgeons or something, where I think this store has a really nice mix of like grognards and like younger RPG and board game fans. So you get a nice mix of people.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's really important. Yeah, because I think I didn't realize that how limited my experience was when I was young, based on the tastes of the hobby stores choices. I never saw any Citadel miniatures, didn't know anything about Warhammer Fantasy, you know, growing up. So it was just because of some choices were made, some biases were exercised. Nice.
Yeah, like nowadays it's all Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Digimon, and Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if you know, the shop is having trouble paying their rent, they do have to pivot towards Magic or something that's gonna, you know, keep the lights on. That's unfortunate. Yeah, they do have to get the kiddies coming in there, and the parents with their credit cards to just to have you know, higher sales. That's too bad.
I mean, it's in the catchphrase, dude. You got to catch them all.
Yes, right. Yes. That's funny. Matt was desperately trying to get my attention. But thanks for jumping on the Discord. We'll have to play on the Discord again soon. If your schedule's freeing up, we'll have to find something fun, like, you know, midweek or something to jump into. There's lots of one-shots and stuff that would be fun to try.
Hell yeah, I'll jump off, but thanks for the chat.
Okay, yeah. Take care. And Arturo, thanks so much. Very cool. So, yes. So, if you want to jump on the Discord and have me completely ignore you for like 20 minutes, that's a good way to interact. Yeah. So Arturo was was in on the Daggerheart experiment that we did, and then also ran the new Coriolis. I'm missing the subtitle, like the Great Dark, the new expansion, the new kind of setting for Coriolis, and ran a real fun kind of starting adventure. Very good. Matt saying, yeah, Gatekeeper old farts are so annoying. We used to have a war game club here that had little generals, and they were just a bunch of old grumpy old nerds who condescended to everybody. Yeah, I felt I was way too young to be interested in D&D, I think, at the time. So yeah, I was definitely excluded by the older folks, and I'm sure it's gotten even worse. And that's got to be really hard, because if you're not choosing, and maybe with Wizards of the Coast moving, you know, so much stuff online, it doesn't happen as much. But if you're not selling D&D 5e, or you're not selling, you know, Warhammer, you're not going to have the same kind of sales. You got to work, you know, twice as hard to push the indies and push the smaller games. But yeah. Arturo is a grumpy middle-aged nerd that refuses to gates on any of his keeps. Nice. Yeah. So good to talk to you. Yeah, it's nice to hear people's voices as well, instead of just their avatars and messages. But yeah, we will do some. Yeah, I'm using the audio from the desktop to bring Discord in, so I didn't want to have like a notification or anything, because Discord especially is notorious for just bing, 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 like every little message and every little every server that you're following, every message that goes on makes a sound. So I forget. That was an Idle Red Hands thing. There was something that we did that somebody had their Discord on. And it was just like this relentless, and it's very distinctively a Discord kind of pop. And they didn't turn that off. Yes, welcome new grumps. Matt said, I can be grumpy, but I always welcome new grumps to the fold. A grognard with a heart of gold, says Arturo. Nice. Yes. Oh, Miguel's going to gatekeep Battletech, gatekeep you all, and play Battletech by myself. Yep, that way you always win. That's right. If there's no opponents, then you go undefeated. All right. Yeah. So apologies. I'm still getting back to it. So things are gonna remain scuffed for a while. Yeah. There's just only so long I can sit in certain positions. When I'm off camera, it's much easier because I can just kind of slide back. But yeah, good stuff. Yeah. So I'll forward you the email, Arturo, that I sent me. It was funny too because her name, anything that has AI in the title, I'm just deleting because there's a lot of spam people trying to get you to use their platforms and stuff. So when I messaged me from level 1, was I immediately I was on the verge of deleting it. I'm like, wait, no, actually this is a human writing me. Oh, Mechborg. Yeah. Oh, that's right. There's a few random crowdfunding. There's that Weird West Borg coming out. There's a lot of. That's right, Mechborg. Lots of mech games to play. Yeah, I was surprised of Oil and Iron jumped out, and I'm surprised at I keep saying that. At the amount of finish, and I guess because he'd be running a Patreon for a while, so had produced a lot of miniatures and then had some studios paint them up so that they look nice. And so there's some dioramas, with terrain and stuff that looked really nice for that, which is important if you're going to do a rule book, even if he's not, doing a published rule book. It's good to see so much, showing what the game looks like on the table. That was cool. Nice. Yeah. This chat has been really great. It's helped a lot make the weekly something fun instead of just reading a list of of news stories. It's been fun discussion. Sorry, I keep dropping the ball on making Discord work, but good group of people, and it's fun. We've been able to play together too. That's been really wild. Like after Matt found the channel, and then hooked me up with. Himself and Will, and we jumped right into Blade Runner. It's still funny to think about. That was the first thing that we tried to play together, like a very, very, probably the most different RPG from anything that any of us had played. But Trial by Fire, that worked pretty well. Nice. Yeah, some really good people in chat. I'm so happy. Because kind of early days with Chris and I, and when it was audio only too, there were just a couple of trolls that were just kind of clinging, just everything, where they're like double checking everything you said, and anything you misspoke. If you said something wrong, it got a comment and a bunch of just nonsense. But it's really been nice. Yeah. And Matt and Abyss are awesome mods. That makes it work really well as well. We don't get all of the views buying Russian bots in here filling up the chat. Yeah, no. The very first thing we played was because I was overconfident with John Carter. Yeah, I recorded John Carter. That was the thing that was strange as well, is the very first stuff we played was audio only. So just recorded the audio. And am I screwing that up? No, I think so. I think that was the because it was Astral. Yeah, back in the days of Astral. So it was really easy to put together stuff on the fly. But I don't think I think chronologically, like I released John Carter maybe before, but I think the first thing we played was Blade Runner. Yeah, I'll have to double check. We talked about that before, but I don't think I had my head around John Carter yet because I'd run the kind of quick start for it, and yeah, had a little too much confidence. But all of those have been really fun. Yeah, the we haven't gone like years on anything, on any one thing, but it's been fun. The stuff we've spent 12 or 15 sessions on, things have gotten really developed and really nice. And I think being able to play almost weekly really helps maintain the tension, and everybody kind of remembers where we are. Every 2 weeks, you have to kind of get up to speed. And if it's like once a month, you may as well just play a series of one-shots because there's just no continuity. It does help, though. The live stream does help to be able to go back to that and kind of literally listen to the last things that were said at the end of the last session to know where everybody kind of left off. I think that's fun. Yes. 100 mega credits. Yes, very good. Yeah, Matt was out. I forget what that was. Matt was out for a little bit, and Abyss, Abyss was available, and Abyss became a mod, and so it became a clash of wrenches for a while there. Yes, back in those reckless days, I must have been on something. I was just handing out the wrenches. Yeah, that's right. That was the thing for a while, and that was a big heartbreaker too, because I think we had some stuff that got lost or the recording didn't go particularly well. So when we were only recording it, when there was no live stream, we didn't have any, backup, any duplicate efforts of anything. So that was a little scary. Because stuff that Craig didn't quite hear well, like there was a little connection problem like that happened on Blade Runner. We had a kind of a key moment, a key kind of conversation that just bup did the digital kind of dropout, and so Will and I recreated that a little bit for the finished video that we ended up posting for Blade Runner. That's right. Nice. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Arturo said it went from Out Over Hands lurker to community member. Very cool. Yeah, it's nice. I'm glad. And I think Chris has a lot to do with that. I think Chris is, especially here, anybody that Chris brings to the kind of game group to play with in person has been great. Like there hasn't been any, yeah, there have been some really nice groups. Unfortunately, people go home when they're expats. They sometimes decide, I've had enough of this, and they go back to their home countries. So we lose some nice combinations of gaming groups. But yeah, take care, Quark. Thanks for dropping by. Nice. Cool. So yeah, we will be back again with some Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, I'm really curious now. The 80s one, the 80s Japan setting, and even the 30s Berlin setting that Chaosium did. Both of those are interesting. So if we do end up going back to Call of Cthulhu, that might be fun. Yes, but yeah. So feel free if you are just lurking on the stream, feel free to join in the chat. It's a friendly bunch of wonderful people. So wonderful you can game with them. That's how good it is, and that can't be said. For all. There's just some chats get pretty. Some chats on some live streams get pretty dicey. I don't think. Some people just live to be incredibly disruptive instead of enjoying what's going on. All right. But so we'll be back again tomorrow with some, and if things fall through for technical or whatever reason, they'll try to come up with something else to do on the channel. Sorry it took so long to get Epic Warpath up and going. But I can get that set up easier. So, and so the audio from this live stream will go on the RSS feed for the Patreon. And I did stitch together those two pieces of Epic Warpath, so you can watch that as all one big thing if you want some continuity there. And so Matt, Will, Terry, and myself should be back tomorrow for some more Eldritch horror in a little house with some simple instructions and some dust. Let's see how they do. All right. So take care, everyone, and we'll be back again soon. So, thanks for everything, members and patrons, and see you next time. Goodbye.